Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I welcome you all in my computer class for grade 6. I hope you all are well, staying at home and utilizing your time in a better way, practicing your lab tasks and revising your previous assignments. Please try to stay at home and take all the precautionary measures to keep yourself and your family healthy. So this is week 7 and the unit is chapter number 3, flowcharts. Topics that we are going to cover in this video are control structures and programs. In control structures, we will discuss sequence. There are 3 types of the control structure. The first one is the sequence, in which steps or instructions are laid out in a sequence. Branching flowchart or Decision flowchart. In Decision flowchart, sometimes the flow of the steps in an algorithm can branch into multiple paths based on how a particular condition works out. And the third type is looping or repetition. What is looping? Sometimes some steps in an algorithm have to be repeated for a given number of times. This is known as loop. And then we will discuss about programs and the list of high-level programming languages. Here are the objectives for today's lesson. By the end of the lesson, students will be able to define control structures in flowcharts, types of control structures, symbols used in different structures with flowchart examples. Differentiate between looping and branching flowcharts with flowchart examples, how they are different and their uses. Number 3, interpret computer programs or software. What is a computer program and what is the link between algorithm and a program? And number 4 is enlist some examples of high-level programming languages. Before starting today's lesson, let's take a quick review or recap of the previous lesson. In the previous class, we discussed about flowcharts. What are flowcharts? Flowcharts are the graphical representation of an algorithm, as you can see in this example. Here we are going to multiply two variables, and the result will be stored in the third variable, that is C. So first of all, we will start the flowchart with the starting or terminal, and then we will input these two numbers. We will take the input from the user A and B, then calculate the result, and the result will be stored in the third variable, that is C. So after that, we will display the output or the value that is stored in C, and then we will use the stop terminal. So these instructions are given in a graphical form, and we have already discussed about different symbols that are used in a flowchart. So here you can see that the algorithm is also defined with this flowchart in yellow boxes. You can see that an algorithm is a step-by-step procedure to solve a complex problem. It is used for problem solving technique. Here you can see that it is quite easy, and it is just like in English like words, and you can easily write the instructions. After that, you can put these instructions into a flowchart. So the flowchart according to this example is also given. I think you people are more clear about the flowchart and the algorithm. So the question is, what do each of the following symbols represent? We have discussed these symbols in the last class with the help of different flowchart examples. So as we already know that we use standard symbols to make a flowchart, to draw a flowchart. So think for 5 minutes, and then here is the answer. As this oval shape is used for the start and stop symbol, so it is called a terminal. Then a parallelogram is used for input output operation. A rectangular box is used for process. A diamond box is used for decision or condition, and connector is used to connect two different points into a single point. So moving to today's lesson, that is about control structures. So describe the what is control structure. Let's have a look on the definitions. Describe the flow of execution or the direction of a flow chart. In flowcharts, flow of execution is represented by an arrow line. As earlier we have discussed about the standard symbols, so arrows are the flow lines which depict the flow of data. Then you can see we have three main types or categories of control structures. The first one is sequential, in which the statements are in a sequential order or a step-by-step procedure to solve a problem. And the second one is selection, in which we have to follow a condition. And the third one is repetition, where we repeat a set of instruction for a specific time period. So the first one is sequential structure. A series of actions are performed in a sequence. Here you can see the syntax. So data flows in each direction. Basically these flowcharts are used in calculation or manipulation of data, like calculating area and different formulas, or for convergence, and it basically use the arithmetic operators and used for arithmetic operations. Multiple statements considered as one statement. Here you can see that all the statements are moving in a sequential order. So statement is a set of instructions, like input ABC is one statement, processing is one statement, output is one statement. So there might be more than one instruction in each statement. So here we can see that we are going to calculate the area and perimeter both in each flowchart. First we will read the length and width for area. Formula is length multiply width, and for perimeter we have the formula 2 multiply length plus width. So it will display the output in the form of area and perimeter, and then it will terminate. And you can also see the output, the area is 15 and the perimeter is 16. So a statement can be a multiple of different statements or instructions. Here we are calculating two things, the area and the perimeter, in the same flowchart. So moving to the second category of the flowcharts, selection structure. One of two possible action is taken depending on a condition. Sometimes flow of steps in an algorithm can branch into multiple paths based on how a particular condition works out. Here you can see that we have we have a condition, and according to the condition, if the condition is true, this part will be executed, and in case of false condition, this part will be executed. A new symbol, the diamond, indicates a yes or no question. If the answer to the question is yes, the flow follows one path. If the answer is no, the flow follows another path. So according to this, the condition is checked, and if the condition is true or the statement is true, true part will be executed, otherwise false part will be executed. Here you can see that in selection structure we use the relational operators greater than, less than, equal to, greater than or equal to, less than, equal to, not equal to, whereas in sequential structure we use the arithmetic operators. So here the question is, or the condition is, x less than y. If the condition is true, then process B will be executed, and if the condition is false, then process A will be executed. So we have two choices in selection case. In If the statement is true, then the true part will be executed, and if the condition is false, then the statement 2 or the false part will be executed, as you can see in this example. If the said condition is true, execute the first statement, else execute second statement. Let me explain with this example. Here you can see that the user enter a number, and the condition is if the number is greater than 0, condition is true, and print category A. The number belongs to category A. And if the condition is false, number is less than 0, so print category B. So user entered the number 10 and it belongs to category A, so the yes part will be executed. Here we have another example of a flow chart, of a selection flow chart to find the largest of three numbers A, B and C. Moving to the third control structure, that is repetition structure. In repetition structure, it represents part of program that repeats. This type of structure is known as loop. So here you can see the loop is a sequence of instructions that repeats a specific number of times until a particular condition is met. So the loop will execute until the condition remains true. Here you can see if the condition is true, x is less than y, the process A will be executed until the specific condition remains true. And if the condition is false, it will terminate. So here you can see the syntax. Here we have a condition, and if the condition is true, then the body of the loop will be executed for a specific time period according to the condition, and if the condition is false, the loop will be terminated. Here we have an example to draw a flow chart to find the sum of 50 natural numbers. So here you can see that we have different advantages of the flow chart. The first advantage is communication. Flowcharts are a better way of communicating the logic of a system or a problem. The second advantage is effective analysis. With the help of flowchart, problem can be analyzed in more effective way. Third one is efficient coding. The flowchart acts as a guide during the system analysis and program development phase. Number 4 is proper debugging. What is debugging? It is error analysis. The flowchart also helps in debugging and error analysis. And the last one is efficient program maintenance. It helps the programmers to put efforts more efficiently on that part. Maintenance also become easy with the help of flowchart. So the last topic of today's lesson is program. What is a program? Let's have a look on the definition. Series of instructions to a computer to accomplish a task. Instructions must be written in the way the computer can understand. So a program is a set of instructions given to the computer to perform a specific task. We have already discussed about algorithms, that are the simple step-by-step procedure to solve a problem. And when we convert algorithm in computer language, it is known as a programming language or a program. Because a computer cannot understand human language, we have variety of high-level programming languages in which we can write programs. I am not going in detail because in chapter number 1 we have talked about programming languages in detail. So if you find any difficulty, you can watch lesson number 2 and 3 of chapter number 1. I am going to share YouTube links with you, which will really help you to understand the topic. They are quite useful. So students, lesson is over. Let's take a recap with a short quiz. Name the 3 flowchart structures that we have discussed today. First question is sequence, decision, and repetition. Number 2, what type of structure is this? Is the repetition, in which we are going to repeat a instruction or a set of instruction for specific period. What type of structure is this? Sequential structure. And the last question is, what type of structure is this? This is decision, where we are going to write the flowchart or draw the flowchart according to the condition, and if the condition is true, true part will be executed, otherwise false part will be and at the end you have an assignment. You will solve this assignment. You may download the assignment from DHA portal to solve over the weekend. And thank you so very much for listening carefully. Take care. Allah Hafiz.